Would you please welcome today's press conference guest, Rob Dickins.
Morning.
Rob, we've got lots of questions on the floor for you. We've got lots of questions on the phone. We'll start straight away with a question from Daniel.
How much does it cost to actually produce a single? Because I think they cost far too much in the shops, and it takes me a couple of weeks for my pocket money to save up and get one.
The actual cost of producing a single could be anything. It could be anything from a couple of £1,000 to £100,000. So basically the cost in the shop is to try and level that out. A single or an LP, when I was your age, if you took the price that it was then to the price it is now, it should be about £14 if it went up with the cost of living. So a single and LPs are very, very cheap now to what they were in the 60s.
On the other hand, technology is getting cheaper every day. If you wanted to buy a video or, say, a computer 5 years ago, in relation to what it cost then, it's now so much cheaper. And I think people are finding, we were talking to everybody this morning, finding that singles are just way out of most people's reach. Is that, I mean, am I not... And surely that's not doing anything for single sales. I mean, they're dropping, aren't they, every day?
Single sales are dropping because I think people want more from a record than 3 minutes. I think that's just as the record business has evolved. People actually want long players, and long play sales are going up, and sales of cassettes and CDs are going up, which is actually the more expensive items are going up, but they are still wonderful value. And you have to compare it really. If you take it to a loaf of bread, it's very, very cheap compared with 20 years ago. But if you take it to cinema tickets, what you pay for cinema tickets these days is phenomenal for an hour-and-a-half film, so 2-hour film. But here's something you have for life.
Do you buy a lot of CDs and long-playing records?
Not really. I only buy singles, really. But
Right. Oh, well.
Okay,
Let's move to the
on
phones.
to the telephones. Your phone there. And line 4 is Diane. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning.
Hello, off you go with your question.
Good
I'd
morning.
like to ask Rob, why is it that this year Annie Lennox wasn't nominated for an award when she'd had a single out, yet Kate Bush was, who hasn't?
Okay, fine. It's very difficult. Let me just explain how the nominations work. Every record company in the BPI, which really is almost every record company, big, small, and all different kinds of music, from pop music to indie music to the majors, are allowed to nominate their choice. And the nominations come through, and the top 5 nominations then go through and are resent back to the membership for voting for the winner. Therefore, the nominations, just people didn't bring her up in that way. As I've said on a previous interview, that because of the Pet Shop Boys, I was allowed to sort of vote for Dusty Springfield as one of the female vocalists of the year, which is a real sort of joy. But there's no way of controlling that. When you have any award system, the voting system gives you the nominees, and no one person picks it. And Kate Bush had, I mean, she did have an overlap record, and she did have the record with Peter Gabriel, so she was in the charts in '87. But
It sounds a little bit of an unfair voting system. It sounds rather
it's actually
unfair.
fair, and if you look at the Oscars and you look at the Grammys, the American equivalent is the Grammys and the Oscars. It's just voted by an academy, which is an elite group of people who are selected for years' service, and then they put together their votes, and that's how you get an Oscar.
But you nevertheless end up with people who are fairly high profile, and Kate Bush couldn't have been said to have been high profile this year.
No, you end up with people who, that was a strange category really this year. I mean, the female vocalists, there wasn't a lot of female vocalists. And in fact, we're looking at changing it to be it was actually the female solo singer. That was the problem in that category. And Annie Lennox won it as the singer of the Eurythmics, and it was changed to a solo singer. And I think we should change it back. There's Mel and Kim, there's Carol Decker of T'Pau. There's lots of people. We're looking at changing that, especially that category. That category didn't really make a lot of sense when we came to it. So thanks for the question.
Diane,
it's in hand.
Does that answer your question? Are you quite happy there? Oh, she's gone. Okay, fine. All right. Hung up.
Talking about well-known songstresses, if you like, let's go now to new talent. Another question from Annabelle.
yeah, I was just wondering, how many people actually listen to a demo tape when you're reviewing new talent?
I used to have to do this once, way back in my... It's one of the worst jobs in the world, I have to say, is listening to demo tapes. But I used to sit in this tiny cupboard of an office and go through it. And it's something that you do as you come into the music business. It's one of the jobs that you listen to everything that comes in, and every record company or publisher or whatever will listen to almost everything that comes in. Some things are packaged in a certain way that you'd really rather not listen to it, but everything gets a shot. Not a totally fair shot, but when you see the numbers of cassettes that come off the streets, It is frightening. I mean, you could lock someone away for 10 years just to listen to them.
How many people would actually go through there? I mean, to get a
It's
good
not the
opinion?
way, just to, you know, if anyone's watching, it's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to find someone in the music business, whether it's your local record shop dealer or a salesman in that area or someone who's to do with local radio, and get to them, because we have contact with those people every day of the week, and they can, if they hear something that's really strong, they bring it through, and an independent shop will bring it through to a different record company. So the way to do it is not to send it into record companies, because you really haven't got a fair shot of doing it, but try and find someone in your area to get to.
Okay, all right, back to the telephones now. And line 3 and Amanda. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Amanda.
Hello?
Hello there, off you go.
What, how many number ones does it take to, how many records does it take to get to number 1?
Got it there in the end.
Thanks, Amanda. It varies with all different things. Let's say an average number 1 will sell about 400,000. So it's very big. What's happening in record sales is the top of the charts are selling still quite successfully. As you come out of the top 10, the sales are dropping off a little bit. But between 250,000 and 750,000 is the range really for a number 1 record.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go to Kate now. Where's Kate? Where are you? There you are.
Do you have any contact with people of our age, and how do you know what we like to listen to?
Yes, I do. In fact, my nephew is one of the great black music authorities. We have, our record company is WEA, and we have an artist called Keith Sweat, and I wasn't really aware of him until at Christmas, and he's 14 or 15 years old. And he said, you've got a great record, you know, called Keith Sweat. I went back to the company, we got everyone around, and I said, what's happening with Keith Sweat? And he's in the charts at the moment with I Want Her. So, yes, we do, but everyone has either a son, a nephew, a friend, and it's very important for us to keep in touch with that. But we're in lots of different ways that we can find out. But no way can you always get, you know, one person's opinion of it.
Do you feel that you're catered for by what's around? You're happy, right?
Got another one?
Yes, let's go on then with another question from the floor. Leah, where's Leah?
I wondered if, when you audition or interview somebody, if their appearance makes any difference to their music. Does it influence your
Yes,
attitude or
it does. I mean, the way that the pop music is, and traditionally has been since the days of Elvis Presley, is that an image is almost as important as the music. It depends on the music. A certain kind of music, the image is all important. And other kinds of music, things like Prefab Sprout, for instance, that kind of band that's around today, the music's the most important. In fact, you make your decision on the music. So it really depends on the musical nature of the act. But on some certainly on sort of straight pop music like Sunita and Kylie Minogue and things, the appearance is as crucial as the music. In fact, sometimes more so.
I was quite pleased to see about the Proclaimers, because they weren't, you know, they didn't sort of have an image, and they weren't.
Oh, they
did very
do. They
well.
do. They have a strong, strong image. You see, you don't just have to be pretty or good-looking to have an image. I mean, they have the glasses, the fact they're twins. It's a wonderful image. I mean, it's a marketing man's dream to have an act that looks like that.
Okay.
Time for any more on the phones?
I think that's just about it, I think.
No
sadly.
more time.
What a
There's
shame.
always too many questions for the amount of time. But thanks very much, Rob. If you're going to come back one day, we've got lots more questions for you.
Okay, next week on Going Live, there's the winner of our Mum of the Year competition.
We have got AHA coming in, as you saw just earlier, and we're having lots of chats with them, so get your questions ready.
You know what I mean, Harry? Frank Bruno is our press conference guest.
And our outside broadcast will be from the Midlands, and we've got a surprise appearance, and we've got the Prince from Ross as well.
Yes, and now, over here, Rossa and Davis are going to play us out with our own Going Live song. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye!
Come and join in with us.
What's it called then? What's it called?